This is a lecture series on vector valued functions, and the reference text is Calculus by Suti Tan. We have already seen in the lecture series on calculus of parametric equations that the position of a moving object in the xy plane can be described by a pair of parametric equations. X is equal to f of t and y is equal to g of t, where f and g are continuous functions on a parameter interval. Now, using vector notation, we can denote the position of the object in an equivalent form using its position vector r. That is, for each t in I, the position vector r of the object is the vector with initial point at the origin and terminal point f of t, g of t. In other words, vector r of t is equal to f of t I plus g of t j, where t element of I. As t takes on increasing values, the terminal point r of t traces the path of the object, which is a plane curve C. In other words, a plane curve can be traced by the terminal points of the vectors defined on a given interval. Suppose t element of closed interval AB, then as t varies on this interval, we get vectors, and the terminal points of these vectors represents each points of the plane curve, like this. Similarly, in a three-dimensional space, we can describe the position of an object such as a plane or a satellite or a rocket using the parametric equations x is equal to f of t, y is equal to g of t, z equal to h of t, where f, g and h are continuous functions on a parameter interval I. Or equivalently, we can describe the position using the position vector r defined by r of t is equal to f of t I plus g of t j plus h of t k, or t element of I. This can be also represented as f of t, g of t, h of t. In two variable case also we can denote f of t I plus g of t j by this notation. And in three-dimensional space, as t takes on increasing value, the terminal point of r of t traces the path of the object, which is a space curve. For example, if we have a space curve like this, we can denote each point of this space curve using the terminal points of the vectors defined on the given parameter interval, like this. So these vectors in a plane represents a plane curve. So the terminal points of these vectors traces a plane curve in plane and a space curve in three-dimensional space. This function r is called a vector valued function. Or vector function of a real variable t, because its value r of t is a vector and its domain is a subset of the real numbers. Thus, a vector valued function or vector function is a function R defined by vector R of t is equal to f of t I plus g of t j plus h of t k, where the component functions f, g and h are real valued functions of the parameter t lying in a parameter interval I. We can have some examples. I plus j plus tk is an example of a vector valued function because 1 and t are functions defined on the real line. And another example is e raised to t plus I plus cos tj plus tk. All these e raised to t, cos t and t are real valued functions, and therefore this is also a vector valued function. Now we can find the parameter intervals of some given vector valued functions. For example, consider the vector valued function R of t is equal to ti plus 1 by tj, and this is a vector valued function whose range lies in the plane, or these are vectors lying on plane, and this vector valued function traces a plane curve. And now we want to find the domain or parameter interval of this given vector valued function. And for finding the domains of vector valued function, we can consider each components, and we have to find the domain on which all those components can be defined. We have to find the domain or subset of the real line in which all these component functions can be defined. Here, if we consider t, then t can be defined on any subset of the real line, or it can be defined on the real line itself. 1 by t is not defined at t equal to 0. So, it's defined only when t not equal to 0. Therefore, both the functions are defined on the interval minus infinity to open 0 union 0 to infinity. In this interval, both the functions can be defined, and usually when finding domain, we will consider the maximum possible subset of the real line. We know that the functions can be defined on any subset of this interval also. When we are finding the domain or parameter interval of a vector valued function, we will consider the maximum possible subset of the real line. Of course, as a domain of a function, any subset of this can be taken. But for such problems, we will usually find the maximum possible subset of the real line in which this function can be defined. And here our parameter interval is minus infinity 0 union 0 infinity. Now we have another example. Now we can find the parameter interval of the vector valued function R of t is equal to ti plus ln tj. Here also we consider the component functions, and first we consider t, and t is defined on real line, but ln t is defined on the values where t greater than 0. So the maximum possible subset of the real line in which both the functions can be defined is open interval 0 infinity. So here the parameter interval is open interval 0 infinity. Our next example is R of t is equal to 1 by t root of t minus 1 ln t. We can represent the vector valued functions in either this form or the form 1 by ti plus root t minus 1 j plus ln t k. Now, for finding parameter interval, we consider the three functions separately. Here 1 by t is defined on the points where t not equal to 0. root of t minus 1 is defined for the functions where t greater than or equal to 1, and ln t is defined when t greater than 0. So considering all these, we can find the largest possible subset of the real line in which all these functions can be defined as closed interval 1 to infinity. Therefore, the parameter interval here is closed interval 1 to infinity. Now we can have another example. Vector r of t is equal to ln t I plus cos htj plus tan htk. And here also we have to find the domain or parameter interval, and we know log t is defined for t greater than 0. Cos ht is defined on minus infinity to infinity. Tan ht also defined on the same interval or on the real line. Therefore, the maximum possible interval in which all these three functions can be defined is of course open interval 0 to infinity, or that is the parameter interval here. Thank you.